What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Eddie Hearn, Daniel Dubois, and Jarrell Miller. Eddie Hearn makes a clear Dubois-Miller prediction. He says, terrible fight for him. Who is him? Okay. And this is what Eddie said verbatim. He said, if Miller beats Daniel Dubois, which I truly believe he will, I think it's a terrible fight for him at this stage of his career. And AJ turns around and says he wants to fight Miller. I'm not going to say, oh, I don't like this. AJ is the boss. Hearn did said it would be down to Joshua whether the pair would fight in the future. He said, Miller talks a great game. Our focus is Deontay Wilder, but sometimes down the line, I can't rule out AJ versus Miller, but that's an AJ decision, not mine. And those are the words of Eddie Hearn. And let me counterpunch. Eddie's not stupid. He knows that Jarrell Miller, he talks a good game, but Jarrell Miller is a guy that has been known to have a good beard. Okay. I mean, I've seen Lucas Brown. People say what you want to. The power's the last that goes. So Lucas Brown, another convicted drug cheat. I think he could still punch, but I just think he fought a guy like Jarrell Miller that allowed those punches to happen. That's the only thing about Daniel Dubois that I do like. I think he hits a lot harder than Lucas Brown, but how much harder? No. But the thing is, it doesn't matter how much harder he can hit. Is can Jarrell Miller take those shots, move forward, and get the job done? Because if I was a betting man, I would bet that when Jarrell Miller starts landing shots, Daniel Dubois won't be able to take them. Okay? I would feel safer betting and banking on that than, anything else. But Eddie Hearn knows, he split it down the middle. It's a bad fight for Jarrell Miller, and he said in this part of his career. Well, not really. It's a good fight for Jarrell Miller because Jarrell Miller, based on the things that he's been through, based on, certain bad decisions that he made over the years, I think this is the road to redemption. So, yeah, you got to fight a guy that is known, that's pretty much working his way down the ladder, while meanwhile, you can climb that ladder, So I like the fight itself. I think it brings a lot of intrigue. I will do the fight prediction next week on who I think will really win that fight and why. Okay. But most importantly, what Eddie talked in this article is the possibility, which I think is bigger than the title itself of this video, of Anthony Joshua possibly fighting Jarrell Miller down the line. Because he said, I can't rule it out, but if AJ wants it, I can't say I don't like the fight, because he's boss. That's what you're supposed to say. That's why a lot of people went with Eddie Hearn versus other fighters or promoters, because other promoters have the slave master mentality of what they say goes. This is what I like. I'm your promoter, and this is how it's going to be done. Eddie doesn't do that, or unless he doesn't publicize that. He doesn't preach that. Not saying it don't want to be done. I think, with people like Michael Hunter, I think he offers him fights, and if that fighter don't want him, he drops him just because they decided against what he advised or recommended. Okay, because he still has that power at the end of the day. But, Eddie Hearn does make a prediction. He was very transparent. He thinks Jarrell Miller will beat Daniel Dubois, but he thinks it's a bad fight for Jarrell Miller on down this line. That I don't know why he really said that. He didn't really explain why. Okay, that's one puzzling thing about this article, because Eddie Hearn talks a gang of stuff, but he didn't reveal why he thinks it's a bad fight for him. I think it's a very good fight for Jarrell Miller, like I told you guys. So, but most importantly, the question would be, people, if Jarrell Miller beat Daniel Dubois, where does he go from here? Chances are up. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Eddie Hearn making his prediction of Jarrell Miller versus Daniel Dubois and the possibility of fighting Anthony Joshua if AJ wants it in the future. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.